Hey guys, it's awesome dude here. I just got back from our walk and shit. Um, yeah. Also making some noodles, some Mr. Noodles. But before I start, I just want to let you guys know I never really got a chance to explain my life story and shit. So here I go. Fucking when I was younger, I used to live at my step-parents' house. I used to live with them from a baby till I was like, say about 18. And I moved, or no, yeah, I moved out at 19. So I'm 20 now, so turned 20 January 5th. Birthday just passed. But, yeah, no. Fucking the last thing that happened was my stepmother, name's Kim. Well, let's just say I got kicked out. Explain the whole story. This happened like over a year ago, but I'm just explaining it to you because that's the last time I talked to my well, it's not the last time I talked to my step-parents, but that's the last time I moved out. And she was like, hey, you gotta get up and cut the grass. I was like, and I was hungover, right? You know, just fucking not feeling well. I was like, hey, listen, Mom, I just wanna, is it okay if I just cut the grass tomorrow? I'm not feeling well, right? Because I was hungover and just wasn't feeling well. And I asked her, I was like, could I just cut the grass tomorrow, please? I'm just not feeling well. She says to me, she's like, no, you gotta cut the grass now. Can you please cut the grass now? And I was like, listen, I told you once, I'm hungover, I'm not feeling well. I will cut the grass tomorrow morning. And it was the day, it was in the morning, but I asked her if I could cut it the next morning. And she's like, no, cut it now. And I was just like, okay, listen, you know what? You want me to cut the grass? I was like, I'm leaving. And I was talking to my buddy, and before I was talking to my buddy, she goes, okay, well then you can pack your shit and leave and shit. And you don't like the rules here, cutting the grass, and you can leave. I was like, you know what? You're right. I will fucking leave. Mark my words. And I left. And I told her straight up. I was like, you guys want me to leave, I'll fucking leave. Don't expect me to ever come back again. I'll come and visit once in a while, but don't ever expect me to move back in, because I'm not moving back in once I move out. And I told them that straight up. I told Kim and Les both, my step-parents, I told them both. Once I move out, I ain't moving back in. And that's for damn sure. And it's funny because they still think I'm stupid, which is, it's funny. They still think I'm stupid. Fucking. Oh, and another reason why I moved out was because they were using me for my money. And I'm on ODSP, right? I get a certain amount of money, like a lot of money every month. I'm not gonna say how much, but it's personal. But yeah, no, they were using me for my money. I bought their kids presents, and I bought my own presents, obviously. But the thing is, I had to find out when I moved back here, like when I was, because right now I'm living with James. I met him through another friend. He's now an acquaintance of mine, so it's like, whatever, fine, fuck him. But yeah, his name's Christian. He set me up with a friend. He asked me if I wanted to go to a party, and I was like, sure, I'll go to a party with you. Whatever, right? No big deal. Fucking went to a party. And this was the time this happened. This is when I moved out, when I first moved out, when I got into, Yeah, I wasn't arguing at the time with Kim and Les, but this is when I moved out. I told Kim, hey, Kim, I'm going to a party or whatnot, right? And she said, okay, just be back when you're done the next morning. So I was like, okay, yeah, sounds good. And I left, and I met Christian up at the hotel. I was like, hey, how's it going? Talking to him and shit, right? And fucking, and that's when I met James. And James is 40, same age as my stepdad. And we hang out. He says, oh, we'll come chill at my place and stay for a couple days. I was like, so yeah, I think my step-parents are using me for my money because I'm on ODSP and shit. And I was like, I'd really like to get a place. He's like, oh, okay, well, I got an apartment for rent for you. $500 a month and shit, so it's pretty good. Been on my own now for almost a year, which is pretty fucking awesome, if you ask me, but yeah, no. I was living with my step-parents since I was a baby, and I moved out at 19. I'm 20 now, but I was mentally abused, verbally abused, sometimes physically abused. But I look at it now as like a lesson learned, like a day that you look back on and you're like, man, you just think to yourself, how the fuck did I ever put up with that, you know? But yeah, but I still talk to them every now and then. No big deal, right? But the only things they ever did was verbal abuse, mental abuse, and sometimes physical abuse. And I kept my mouth shut. I never told anyone back in high school. But the only thing they never did was sexual abuse, but it's whatever. Fucking yeah. But yeah, so I'm on my own now. Been on my own for a year. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber, so now I got the chance, you know? Beforehand, I could never be a YouTuber. Because Les would always be like, oh, don't record in my house, don't record here, don't record in my house. Meanwhile, I was paying to live there. Okay, think for a minute. I'm living with my step-parents, and I'm paying to live there. Like, are you fucking kidding me? What kid has to pay to live at your step-parents' house? Like, it's not right. It's not cool. It's just not the right thing to do, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. You learn from the past. You learn to forget, you know? Learn to forgive and forget, but doing better now, so it's pretty good. Now all I need is a YouTube camera so I can record my gaming videos on Fortnite and shit. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about, so you guys can learn a little bit more about me. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here, but yeah, I'm out. But subscribe if you're new. Leave a like down below. And deuces.